I knew that I was going to be someone hard to beat. And I mean, we're starting to see it now. Mic drop.
So
I was trying to make sure I didn't I hit my eyebrow, y'all. Sorry. That's what it says.
Literally.
Now my mindset has to change. I'm not the underdog. You know, I'm not in the chase. I'm the one being chased.
Welcome to the G.O.A.T series powered by NESTRE with your host, Dr. Tommy Shavers, and me, Chloe DeLuca. Join our conversation as we explore what's under the hood of some of the best athletes, high performers, CEOs, and top leaders in their industries. Today, we're sitting down with another one of my dear friends that I competed with in college and as a professional. When I first met her, she was a young socialite and a hopeful track and field athlete, hoping to separate herself on the track from the rest. And now, she is a socialite and an Olympic gold medalist, and my sweet friend. Please join me in welcoming our guest, Masai Russell. The information being presented is not meant to replace the advice from a licensed medical doctor and should not be used to treat or diagnose any medical conditions. This podcast makes no medical claims. All health-related tips are for teaching and informational purposes only. We are back with another episode of the Better Mind Podcast with Masai. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really happy to be sitting across from you two. But more importantly, Chloe.
Just throw it. I knew it. It was coming.
I haven't seen Chloe in a minute, so I'm really, really excited to be here. I've never really been on a podcast with a friend, so this is super duper comfortable.
With two friends?
Yeah. Two friends. Sorry.
2 friends.
Sorry.
It is really long time coming. We've been trying to get Sai on the podcast for a little while. When I had my wedding back in November, we were going to have her come on, but there was so much going on.
Yeah.
That was just not feasible.
I didn't want to do that too on your wedding week either.
You know, I should have thought about that myself.
Yeah.
No.
You weren't thinking about that.
I wasn't. Yeah. When the week came, it was
yeah.
Mm-mm.
This is not going to happen.
Yeah. So now that she's here this week, I'm so glad we can get you in because, this podcast series is such an exciting series where we really get to break down the mental structure of who you are, what makes you you. And I'm just happy more so because of the progression of your life. I said it in the intro, but this was my little baby friend, from college, freshman baby Sai. And now we're sitting here and you're an Olympic champion, American record holder,
crazy.
And we get to now talk about without moving on too fast, but that next phase of greatness and what it looks like for you and how you're processing it.
I'm super stoked. Obviously, I get to do the brain thing, which is
the analytics.
This is what NESTRE is.
Let's pop the hood on this greatness. But in hearing you talk, I want to know from you, Chloe, because you have this unique experience. You saw the greatness. You got a chance to experience it firsthand before everyone else saw it come into, fruition. What's that experience been like for you?
It makes me want to cry. For real. Because, you have overcome, what is happening?
You see, every time I get between the two of you.
Because it's real. We have a real, genuine relationship.
That's the part
and,
that
And, I think she's getting emotional because, she's seen someone that wanted it so bad and was just, young and just, a little fetus. She says. I was literally just, attached to Chloe's hip like no other. And Chloe was the best example of what doing it the right way looked like. I don't think Chloe gives herself enough credit because I was just following her, wholeheartedly. She showed up to practice. She didn't complain. She worked hard. Coach Green's workouts are hard. They're so hard, but the way that I seen them approach hard, her and Faith, I'm just oh, this is just what it is. I'm gonna fall in line behind those who do hard, they just made hard look easy. And I think that we don't even understand sometimes as track athletes, when people are watching us, we make hard look easy. We make doing these hard workouts look easy. It's not easy, but we just make it look easy. And Chloe made it look easy. And I just followed behind her and Faith. And they were just really good examples and set really good foundations for the start of my greatness, because that's what I seen coming into college. I was a freshman, didn't really know anything about Kentucky, wasn't even planning to go to Kentucky. And
Right.
that's a whole nother story within itself. But I think that me just going to Kentucky, like my process, it was all literally, I can't put it no other way but God, because I was supposed to go to Tennessee. Then the coach that was recruiting me there ended up at Kentucky, ended up going to Kentucky, ended up being the best school out of all 5 visits that I took. Kentucky wasn't even in my mind.
Right.
I'm like, this is the best team. Like, this is what I was looking for all along.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that it was Kentucky that wasn't on my mind, that wasn't on my top 5, that wasn't a visit that I took. I came 3 weeks before 2 weeks before school started, signed my national letter of intent, like literally when I got on campus. It was like, what's happening? But then when I got there, like it made sense. And then when I met Chloe and when I met Faith and when I met the rest of the team and all the girls, I'm just like, this is the team, this is the family that I was looking for all along. So, like I said, I don't think Chloe has given, I don't know if she gives herself that credit, but I'm confirming it now that like Chloe was a big part of the foundation that I had coming into track, coming into just like her supporting me all the time, her motivating me. Like I said, those workouts were hard, but we got through it together.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the foundation of the team, and that was the foundation of our relationship literally now to this day. Like those moments and experiences are something that would never go away. And it's still the foundation of our relationship. Like we're older now, but like I'm still like, I know like in Chloe's mind, like I'm still like the baby to her. And she's still like the big sister to me. And it'll always like, it don't matter how old we get, like that'll always be our foundation.
Yeah, I've watched the two of you. It's awesome, honestly, watching the two of you. When you grow, you get older, or you even have success, you can, not that people forget, but people grow. And the thing that like that I've just watched even with you is the respect, the appreciation is real. You know? And it's like both of you. Like
yeah, it's definitely reciprocated.
It's
I think
mutual.
that's like with all my friends, like everyone that I have like in my life that I consider a friend, consider family, consider a sister, best friend, whatever. Like the energy is reciprocated, and it doesn't matter how much success I've attained. It doesn't matter like any of that. Like I'm still the same person, and I
Yes.
think, of course, like when you get a big title beside your name and you start running fast, like and you start doing all these crazy things, like people think that you're a different person or a different being. As like I'm still human, I still have emotions, I still have
No,
friends.
I'm looking at this data.
No, yeah.
I don't know.
The data says otherwise, but
Well, I
you
think
know.
the data adds to what you're saying.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're spot on.
Because
Okay, well, yeah,
it does.
I don't know what the data says as of right now, so it'll be interesting to hear what the data says.
Yeah, because it's like watching you not change has been the coolest thing. Like we were just talking about that during your workout. Like we've been able to grow together.
Literally.
And that's something that I always carry. It's like friends that you've had for a long time, but you're able to grow, change, become better, and friends that accept that new part of yourself.
Yes.
And then they also like learn from it and vice versa. Like watching you grow, but like from the jump, you've always been that way. You have always appreciated your family. You have always been loyal to people that have been there for you. You honor the ones who know more. You take a humble stance.
That's big.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
'Cause I'm like, I don't know anything. Like, respectfully,
Right.
And I feel like, of course, I know I can be a vessel to other people, like, that want to get to where I'm at, but, like, I still don't know it all. Like, even when it comes to coaching, like, people ask, like, oh, when you're done with track, like, can you see yourself coaching? And I'm like, right now, my mindset is, like, I still know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know I do, but it's, like, I still have the approach of, like, you don't know anything.
Can I share that story about you being one of your coaches showing your videos to it?
Yeah.
I will not be descriptive.
Yeah.
For example, to what she's saying, this, I don't know when it was. When was it?
Last week.
Last week, one of her coaches showed a team, a group of athletes, videos of Masai doing what she does, training at her best. And he used it as an example to show the athletes, like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what this is supposed to look like, whatever. And when Masai was sharing with me that story, she was like, what? Me? Like, you're showing this me? And I was like, why are we surprised? Because it's specifically with what he was showing, it was one of her strengths. that he was showing. So to me, I'm like, well, duh, you're a technician in this part of
Right.
your training. But this mindset Masai carries, which I think is something that helps you stay the way that you are in your success, is knowing like, I know that I've accomplished great things, but I'm always seeking more. There's
Yeah.
always more to learn. I don't know everything.
Right.
And you do a really good job of remembering where you came from.
Yeah. And I think that that's what people appreciate about me the most. And I think that that's why the audience that I have, they can sense that
Oh
because
yeah.
for one, I'm humble enough to know where I came from. I would never forget that because that's literally the reason why I'm where I'm at today. But I'm also humble enough to know that I could lose it all and I'm not better than anybody else. And I think that, you have to have like a level, a mindset of, you know who you are, but you know you could lose. Like you never know. You just never know. So that's why I say I think that sometimes with like being a high level athlete, people look at you like you're like you're the craziest thing I've ever seen, and it's like no, like I want you to understand that you're just as equal as me. I'm just good at hurdling. I'm great at hurdling. I'm great at putting my head down and grinding, and you could get the same thing out of your life if you gave yourself the time to something that you love,
Right.
and you could see something just like I did winning the Olympics. It may not look like an Olympic medal, but it can look like you getting whatever you want to get out of the life that you love or whatever you love in your life. But yeah, I definitely I hold that dear to my heart, like just being humble, like because it could be gone tomorrow. Like you're not better than anybody. And that's just the foundation that I have for my life, especially because I know where I've started. I tell everyone I've lost more than I've ever won. And I mean, of course, I think I'm like flipping that now. Now that I'm a professional, I'm starting to win more than I've lost. And I'm so blessed and thankful, of course.
Changing that record.
But yeah, like I've had very humble beginnings, especially starting the hurdles when I only ran the 100 hurdles 4 times before coming to college. And then after 5 years, I broke the collegiate record. So I'm
She's a
humble
400
enough.
hurdle,
Like,
a
yeah,
quarter
I literally
horse.
went to college. I got recruited as a 400 hurdler.
Yeah.
If you ask Chloe the workouts I was doing my freshman, honestly, every year, I was training as if I was a 400 runner. So, once I started to see, all right, like I can kind of do the 100 hurdles more. It really, the short hurdles didn't stand out until my 5th year. I was pretty even in both.
Yeah.
For 4 years. It's like I was, like, one didn't stick its head out more than the other. So I still was like, all right, like, which one am I going to be better at? And then my 5th year is when I broke the collegiate record in my 3rd indoor meet. And then I was like, all right, like, okay, I ran 7.7, and then when I ran outside, I ran 12.36, and I'm like, okay, the 100 hurdles is definitely the one that's
Should be my
surpassed
focus.
the
Yeah.
400 hurdles. But yeah, like I just know where I started, and I know where I want to get to. The job isn't done.
Yeah, I think that's awesome because one of the things I was going to point out and ask you about, and just watching you, see how you move, see how you are with people.
Mm-hmm.
Often people misunderstand confidence and arrogance,
Yeah.
and they don't really understand the difference between those two.
Yeah.
And humility
Yeah.
is
What you laughing about?
Because I feel like that was the thing that came up so much, even like when I was in high school, like cocky and confidence. Like, I'm not cocky. Like, I feel like, of course, as a sprinter, you have to believe that you're like better than the person next to you. Like, you have to like have that sense of awareness of about yourself, that you know what you bring to the table, but you also respect the people next to you. I feel like someone that's cocky, they are just like bigger than the world. They don't respect anybody else. It's just what they bring to the table. So I just had to like deal with
Yeah.
that a lot in high school.
See, the the problem is they both look the same,
Right.
people facing. Externally, they both look the same. Confidence and arrogance, or confidence and cockiness, they both look the same. You can't really determine the difference on face value. What determines the difference is the internal makeup of the person,
Mm-hmm.
that
Absolutely.
humility piece. And that's the part that most people don't get to see because they're not in your day to day.
Right.
But me watching you and seeing you, the humility you have, the appreciation, the respect you have, that's the part that people don't get to see. So
Yeah.
most of the time they just
Right.
says, oh, that's arrogance and that's cockiness. But you don't get a chance to see the lived experience around the humility that makes the person who they are.
Yes.
I've seen you. I've watched you.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a chance to see my baby girl loves you.
Yeah.
You know, my
And I love her too.
and that's the part that's like phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like she
yeah.
showed up today before this because she wanted to make sure she
Oh,
saw you and gave you a hug.
it's
You
so
know.
cute.
And but it's because of the genuineness that you have. You know.
Yeah.
Saw you at the wedding. Like we just have
What a time.
a world-class Olympic gold medalist here having a time of her life with her girl, with her
Yeah.
girls.
Singing Frozen songs.
Absolutely. And like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so I think that part, you know, respect to you that
Thank you.
it's always going to look what it looks like on the outside,
Yeah.
but it's the people that get a chance to see who you are,
Yeah.
could get an idea that really appreciate what makes you you. That part I think is just it's just awesome. So I'm already a fan because one, because you're just awesome.
Oh,
Two,
thank you.
to see the human side of you
Yeah.
just makes you root for you even more. You
Yeah.
know? So
Thank you.
You answered it before I even got a chance to bring it up, but it's the humility piece, and you show it in the lived experience. I see in you guys' relationships. I see it with people,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that keeps greatness tempered. You know.
Right. That's a great way of saying it.
Yeah.
That's a great way of saying it. Because, I mean, anyone can do what you've done and lose it. And I think that is what is so cool about your story. And I'm curious to hear what you think, because it's like you did things that people in hindsight would have wanted to do. Like whenever you share about like your decision to stay at Kentucky and train, your contentment with your circumstance right now of like, I could go here, I could go do this, I
Right.
could let my greatness become untempered.
Determine
Right.
what's going on.
Where I'm
Right.
trying, exactly.
Right.
But there is this ability you have to be able to see something and say, nah, I know that that's what someone would want me to do. I know that's what
Right.
Nike may want me to do. I know that that's what the world may tell me to do.
Right.
But I'm content with myself and I'm content with my process. And I'm going to trust the journey that I'm on and trust my decision that this is what works for me. And when you decided to stay at Kentucky, when you decided to go with Nike, no one was for that.
Yeah.
I remember that process you went through, specifically just like with, turning pro and all that came with it. And no one was on your side.
Yeah.
And there was a time where you weren't running super fast. You were running great. But compared to what was expected,
Right.
it became this whole, nah, she ain't gonna
Right.
make it. Nah.
Right.
So truthfully, when you made all of these decisions about staying planted, doing what you decided to do with staying at Kentucky, and the odds were not in your favor.
Definitely.
So my question to you is like, what was going on in your mind? Like, how did you get to that place of like, I'm gonna trust my instincts right
Yeah.
now?
I feel like
Despite-
it's definitely easier said than done. It's easier to say like I'm gonna trust whatever God has for me. I'm gonna trust. I'm gonna stay rooted. I'm gonna stay grounded. But I feel like when you say those things, that's when you get tested on it. So I didn't expect for my process to end up being the process that I had. I thought, of course, right after NCAA's, I was gonna sign a contract. I was gonna be good, and that's just what it was, And I was just gonna be good. Ended up not happening that way. Ended up not getting. Well, I had a contract right after NCAA's, but it wasn't a contract that I felt comfortable with. I didn't feel comfortable with the whole scenario. So of course, if anyone would have seen the number that was on that paper, they would have signed it. I was like, no, like I don't feel comfortable with this. I can't sleep right at night, knowing that I signed this, and I'm not gonna put myself in a position to go against what I believe, and if I honestly didn't care who was on my side or not. I'm like, this is about a feeling that I have for myself.
And for context, when you get a contract in track and field, you take it.
Yeah.
Like, I want that to make it clear. It's not like,
I mean, I think anyone, like if they see a 6-figure deal coming out of college for like 3-4 years. I think
Anyone would take it.
99% of the people would take it, but I just knew that I just had a feeling, like, that's why I say I just have these feelings that like God will just direct what I feel, just tell me what to do and where to move. And I just didn't feel moved to sign that contract. And for a minute, I didn't have a contract. I was unsponsored. I was paying my own way to get to meets. I was paying my own way at hotels and doing all these things. And no one really knew that because I didn't have to stay in that place for in excess, like a very long time, but it was long enough to feel like what it was to be like unsponsored.
That's stretching.
Not for real. So, I got tested on what I was saying, to say the least. And I wasn't running good. I wasn't running fast. It wasn't looking good. And this is all leading up to Paris. It's all leading up to the Olympics, all leading up to U.S. trials. And I just, like, it's crazy to, of course, think about. But I can't talk about just myself and, of course, not talk about my boyfriend, Robbie. Like, he was a great foundation in that moment for me. He did not even allow me to feel bad for myself. Even when I wanted to feel bad for myself, I have a strong enough foundation within myself to say, like, all right, like, this is what you said. You have to live with what you say. But, of course, on the other end, it's just like, dang, this is really, really hard. But I had Robbie, of course, as a foundation for me to just keep things plain, keep things clear, stay grounded, stay the process, like, just stay the course, like, even through college. People were telling me I needed to transfer after my last year, before my 5th year, before breaking the collegiate record, before anything. Because I could have went anywhere I could have went into any school for my 5th year. And I was like, no, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay. I feel like I'm the only one that stayed. And I feel like God just honors, like, he honored that. Like, he honored the diligence. He honored the discipline. He honored the focus. He honored just my commitment to something that I set out for myself. And I didn't know how I was going to get it, but I just stayed grounded in whatever the faith I had at that time. That's what I stayed grounded in. Because I definitely started to lose faith. I'm like, all right, I really can't see myself getting a contract. Like, I did start to lose faith. I can't see myself getting from this point because I'm not running fast. Why would anyone want to sign me if I'm running 12.8? Like, why? But then, well, actually, no, I'm lying. I'm backtracking. So all of indoor of 2024, I didn't have a contract. And then when I got 4th place at World Indoor Championships, that's when Nike started to show me interest, because they said that they always were interested in me. It was just about, like, some budget things at that time. But it is hard to just wait, and you never know, like, all right, are they still rocking with me? I'm not running that fast, whatever. So now my fate is up to, like, me competing. My first meet outdoor, I fell. 2 Diamond Leagues, I didn't do good. And that's why I do thank Nike, because they definitely seen something in me that, like, I was like, y'all want to sign me right now? Like, So it was a blessing. That's why I tell people, like, it was all God. Like, the whole process, all of everything, my whole process leading up to where I'm at to this point has literally just been directed by God. Even when I don't run fast, or when I don't do good to the rest of the world, it's all about a perspective. It's all about, like, for me, it's all about my mindset. And yeah, I mean, the process has been crazy, but yeah, like I said, I can't talk just about myself without, like, talking about Robbie, because he was a major factor into just keeping it real, keeping it plain. Like, don't listen to the hype. Don't listen to everybody else. Stay grounded. Like, stay the process. From college, from my last year, like, through the Olympics. I mean, that's my partner. That's my soulmate. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's my bestie. And like I said, my mindset is my mindset. Who I am is me. Like, I'm a dog. I can get to it. I can be focused and disciplined. But, like, of course, when reality starts to set in, it's really hard to, like, having faith for a year, having faith for 2 years, 3 years, like, having faith for 5 years. Like, I believed that I was going to win every year, and I never won NCAAs. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something within itself. But I was always relentless. I always knew where I wanted to go. I always knew what I could be. And I knew once I could, like, just direct what I brought to the table to the line, I knew that I was going to be someone hard to beat. And, I mean, we're starting to see it now. Mic drop.
Drop the mic. Mic the drop.
I mean, that was very well said.
So I mean,
I was trying to make sure I didn't I hit my eyebrow, y'all. Sorry.
how would you how would you, if you had to say this is your recipe for greatness, because we talk about this a lot,
Yeah.
right? Like a recipe is a combination of things. A lot of times people look at recipes as the ingredients in the dish.
Yeah.
It's twofold. It's what's in the dish, how much of it's in the dish. What's not in the dish is also what makes the recipe,
Right.
right? People want to say weaknesses or things of that nature, but it's like, no, it just shows you what's in the dish. This is not a part of it. So if you were to say, for you, I mean, I could see it because I can look at it. I got the brain
Yeah, you
data
got the
right
you
here.
got the
I
data.
got the cheat
He
code.
got the
Right.
analytics.
Yes,
Right.
I got the cheat code. So if you had to say
Yeah.
intuitively what makes up Masai's recipe for greatness, what would you say those things would be? What would
Yeah.
be those ingredients?
I think something that's just standing out to me right now, I would have to say being relentless, like just having the will to want to win, the will to never stop, the will to keep going even if you lose, even if it doesn't look the way you want it to look. Coming back, get into it regardless of the result every day. Consistency is so huge. I feel like consistency and being relentless is like kind of paired within one, because if you're relentless, that means you're going to keep going regardless of the situation. Consistency is, once again, you're going to do whatever you got to do on a day-to-day basis, regardless of how it looks and how you feel. You're gonna stay the course, regardless of whatever the situation is. I mean, I feel like focus and discipline, integrity, like all these different things that I feel like sound super cliche, they are recipes for greatness, because discipline, you gotta, whatever you set your mind out to, you gotta do it. You can't get good results if you're not doing whatever it takes to get the greatness. Yeah, I think that, I mean, sleep. Sleep is
Goody.
important. I mean, that's like deeper, like that's like, of course, sleep, nutrition, different things like that, but I think the main things are just like being relentless, being consistent, discipline, focus, having integrity over your work. What, like, literally, what are you doing when no one's looking? I feel like I heard that so much growing up, like, oh, what are you doing when no one's looking? That is the difference between like people who are good and people who are great. Like Coach Green can be at the track and Coach Green cannot be at the track. It's not going to change my work.
Oh,
Like,
no.
it's not going to change,
This girl literally, I'm impressed by how you train sometimes remotely. Like, this girl will be hitting PRs by herself.
Yeah.
No one's in the room. Like, no one. Not a teammate, not a coach. I think you got music playing, but like,
no, I got a little bit of music playing now.
this girl
ain't that
literally-
crazy.
this girl literally like PR'd in the weight room by herself and celebrated by herself,
like,
and then sent a video. But it's like pushing weight, like,
Yeah.
like we say, and we make it look easy, but like getting to that
Yeah.
place mentally to push through what
Yeah.
you're about to go through by yourself.
And that's definitely a skill that I feel like I've gotten better in as I've gotten more experience as a pro, because I feel like I used to have a lot of external motivation
Yeah.
from teammates,
Yeah.
from coaches, from fans, whoever, like, but once you go pro, it's very, it's isolated. It's very, you have a lot of time by yourself. Yeah, you're doing things a lot by yourself. So that was even a transition for me when I first went pro, because when
Yeah.
you go from being on a team, relays and warming up with your teammates and you rooming with your teammates, like
Yep.
everything is centered around you being with your team.
Codependency,
Exactly.
yes.
So now you just, all right, now you're pro. You're doing this on your own. It's only for you. Like, and I had to realize, I had to take a step back. Like, what is the reason why I run track?
Yeah.
Like, what is my driving factor? Because now I don't have a team I'm representing. I'm not running on a relay to get my team 10 points on the board. Now it's, how much does Masai want this? That's the difference. So yeah, I am hitting PRs in the weight room by myself. Like last year, I feel like I really started to enjoy like just being in the weight room by myself, turning the music on, being in my own vibe, like hitting big numbers, like just being in my, like literally being in my own head, like talking to myself, like, what do you want? Seeing your goals, seeing what you want to do on the track. And it's definitely, I mean, it's helped me out because I used to be like, oh, like, I want to lift with the team. I want to do this with the team. I want to practice with the team so that I can have that external motivation. But now it's definitely transformed into like, I could do whatever I need to do by myself. It would be great to have like on the track, specifically Coach Green there if I'm dying. Like, I would prefer not to die at the track by myself.
Right.
Will I do it? Because I got to do it? Yes, but like in the weight room, I've definitely like found like a peace in the weight room of just like being in my own bag, like lifting weight, go ahead, like get it up, like do what you got to do. And yeah, just like within myself, I've definitely loved that.
I want to because you're talking around it such in a natural way.
Yeah.
I want to bring some of the science around it, but I also want people to think about it from their own lens of greatness, like you said it earlier.
Yeah.
Like you said, like just even at the end when you were saying, within yourself, like everything you were saying lines up with what the data is saying around your superpowers. And like the first thing the data says around your superpowers, the number one thing it says is her body knows exactly what to do. And what that means is all of what you were saying is you've literally programmed greatness into your body. Like all of the things you're talking about consistency, discipline, the work, you've literally encoded. You've
Good way
literally
to put it.
encoded it into your body.
Yeah.
Like that's why external things aren't needed because you encoded it internally.
Mm-hmm.
So your body does exactly what you want it to do when you want it to do it, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense, and that gives me confirmation sometimes because I think Chloe could probably shed some light onto like kind of how I am. Like people, like I said, when people see me, they think, "Oh, she's a dog. She's this. She's that." Does Masai have doubts? Absolutely. Does Masai believe that she's always the best and the greatest hurdler ever? Not all the time. And like when you say that, I literally told myself the other day, like I have trained so hard, so long, and sometimes I do forget who I am. Like you got to remember who you are, but like I said, also be humble enough to know that you can lose it all. Also be humble to know where you came from. But you saying that just gives me the confirmation. Like when I see myself competing at my highest level, I have literally put so much time and work in. I don't touch hurdles. I don't, like I do this.
I run
Yes.
through them.
You know?
I do this.
I do this, and
Yes.
sometimes I forget that, but then I forget like how much work I put into encoding these types of characteristics of greatness into me, into my body, into my brain, and my mind. And like I said, sometimes for me, I just got to get to the line because once I get to the line, I'm good. But sometimes leading up is hard, like mentally. Of course, like people wouldn't know that, because I feel like I know how to control it, but I feel like I don't give myself that credit all the time until I see like me run the 12.2s and the 12.1s, and I'm like, I'm good. Like I do this. I know how to hurdle. You know what I'm saying? And there's times where I've questioned like, do I even know how to hurdle? Like, and it's crazy. Like people wouldn't know that, but I just feel like I know how to just control it. And once I continue to fully believe every single time that this is the standard of who I am, I feel like that's when I'm gonna be like unstoppable for sure. Yeah.
So like, you got another superpower. Like the other superpower is you.
Yeah, I do know that.
Because you literally like it tells us the challenges too. So we get to see the whole recipe.
Yeah.
And you literally just said it. That's where that humility comes in at, because you know that there are times when you have doubts. And you said like, I just got to get to the line. When I get to the line,
Yeah.
what you've done, and if you're listening or watching, like this is such a great lesson to understand, where if you work and train hard enough, your greatness overrides everything else. And that's what you've done.
Yeah.
Where it talks about some of the times can be the challenges of getting up to the line.
Dang. That's
Like,
what it says?
literally. Like, literally.
Wait,
And so, you know, but the part that's pretty crazy is despite your challenges, you've built this unique ability to where what you do, you've built literally like a force field around what you do. And most of the time with most people, their challenges impacts their greatness. You've encoded greatness so much at such a higher level. Like even when it was talking about how you encode, you know what good races feel like, you know what a good technique feels like, you know what a good workout feels like. It literally tells us this.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, that'd be accurate, right?
Yeah. No, 100%.
And so very rarely can someone encode greatness to such a high degree that the challenges they have aren't able to impact the greatness that they're about to execute. And that's crazy. Like, because most of the times you're like, I'm just hoping the human part shows up. That'll give me a chance. They don't have a chance with you. Because when you get to the line,
Yeah.
your body, you've built it.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I think is just awesome. Looking at this data, like, and it tells everything. All of your top areas are motor, muscular, vision, logical processing, like a machine for what an elite hurdler would be.
Right.
You know, we've looked at a couple of people and their greatness and how it is. The part that makes your recipe super unique is the way you work has created this ability to override challenges. You're human.
Right.
You know, but I mean, I just think about when you start thinking about people, I don't know if you intentionally did it or you intuitively did it, but if people understood, like, I'm gonna work so consistently that the automated nature of what I do will drown out or eliminate any doubts that I have. Like my work is gonna create the confidence, and I don't have to go find it anywhere else.
Yeah. And I think that that's for me, that was the only thing I could do is work. Like I wasn't like the most talented. Of course, people now will call me talented because they see the fast times. And me and my boyfriend, we always have this debate like, is talent really real? And of course, like people do have intangibles to be great. Like some people just can physically jump higher, can physically do things better than the next person. But it's all like circumstances, pretty much, like how you grew up. Did you play outside? Did you do this? Did you do that? So like I played outside, I had fun, I was climbing trees, I was backflipping, I was doing all these things. But when it came to the track, like from when I was 8 to literally 21, 22 years old, like I never, or 23, I never won. I always, from AAU, USATF, NCAAs, second, third, fourth, second, third, fourth, second, third, fourth. So now it's like, oh, she's so talented, she's running 12-1. Oh, she's so talented, she won the Olympics. Like, is it talent or is it work? You know what I'm saying? So when you really process like the definition by the majority of the people, they would just say talent is like the results that you get, but like they don't see like the back end of like all the work that's gone into it. So I think for me, the only thing I could rely in was the work, having confidence in my work, having confidence in the long hours, the like literally the work that I put in. Because in track, like it's all numbers. There's nothing much more that you can do but work, but grind, but see the mark that you got to hit. The numbers are right there. It's just like, all right, this is where you're at and this is where you need to get. And there's a lot of space and opportunity in between that. So, you know, the only thing I can do is rely on the work. And that's always been the confidence that I've had, like coming to the line. That's why I always grinded during like fall train. I mean, that's why I always just grinded, but like fall training in my head, it's just like, oh, it's hard, it sucks. I don't want to be running these repeat 5s and 4s in the grass, in the hot. But like, I knew that fall training is always the foundation for the season. If you have a good fall training, it's going to set you up for the season.
100%
So,
long-term.
yeah, it's just like having faith. That's what Coach Yerno always says. Like, sports is literally just having faith. Like, it's a testament within itself. It's like you're working right now for something that you don't know what's to come, but you're just working in faith right now that what you're putting in right now is gonna pay off down the road. So I don't know what's to come this year. I didn't know what was to come in 2024. I was just working. Yeah, the times weren't what I would have expected. The results weren't what I would have expected, but it came out when it needed to. And the work showed. That's the thing that I love about track. I used to hate how individualized the sport was because it would stress me out. I'm like, oh, I wish I was on a team sport. Like, I wish because I just wouldn't be this stressed. But as I've gotten older, I appreciate how individualized it is because it's going to show everyone along with yourself what you put into this. It'll always come out. If you give yourself a chance, what you put into track, because how individualized it is going to come out. And that's why I love it. It's just like people could say anything, but the numbers are always going to speak for themselves. You know what I'm doing when no one's looking because it's going to show, you know? So that's, I just love, like, I love how individualized, like, track is.
Your ability to work is a talent.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Like, that's a talent in and of itself.
Yeah.
Like, and she just was dropping bars
I'm
all
just
over
like,
over the place. No, that's the science of what you did.
Yeah.
Like, you went, the byproduct was you built it into your body. That's the part that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and that, if people understood that, you know, what the whole deal around, you know, what fires together, wires together, you were layering in performance templates for your, and that's why it wasn't about, did you have fast times? You were encoding.
Yeah.
All that work, you were encoding. You were building complex performance systems, but you had enough mindset to not let the process get derailed because the outcomes weren't there yet.
Right. Yeah.
And if people could do that
more, then they would be so much further ahead. And I think that so many people, they stop working just because it doesn't look the way that they want it to look at that time. And I'm just like, you know, I'm not going to lie. When I got to my senior year and I never won NCAAs, like my 5th year, I'm just like, dang, what I got to do to win? Like, I broke 2 collegiate records. Like, this is the best season I've had in my life. Like, what do I got to do to win? But I just went back to my foundation. Keep your head down and work. Just keep working. And I feel like my story is so different than, like, you know, the other great athletes like the Sydneys and the Taras and the Grant Holloways, like people who they have their own struggles, and their story is gonna sound and look all of our stories are gonna look and sound completely different. But I remember watching Sydney at New Balance just running 49 in high school. You know, I always was like, dang, I'm trying to get to that point. You know, seeing Grant do the long jump, the high jump, winning NCAAs, like through from freshman to his junior year, because he went pro early. I had to use up all my eligibility. You know what I'm saying? So everyone's story looks so different, and it's just about, you know, what you bring to the table. And I feel like for me, like, it's everyone who's great. You like, they just work their gift. I tell everyone, like, work your gift. My gift is to work. My gift is to grind. My gift is to put my head down, and it don't matter what everybody else is saying. Some people got they have the gift to showcase to the world, like, this is who I am, and I need external people to, like, get the result. But like me, all I knew was work. All I knew was to grind. And my coach always tells me, like, you just have something that you can't coach. Like, in the islands, he says they call it a je ne sais quoi. I'm like,
so annoying.
I don't know. I guess that's what that, like, so you know, funny. It's just like, he's like, it's just that thing. Like, but I think that's why I genuinely believe that, like, I was called to run track. Like, I feel like that's my passion. That's my purpose. Like, that's just who I am. Like, that's how I was made up. Like, no one has ever forced me or, like, had to pull me out the bed to get to practice, you know? And it just was always me. Like, I never did any other sport. I never really thought about doing any other sport because I was just so, like, invested into track. But like track has just always been me, you know? So of course I know I can't run for forever. And I think that, you know, I'm just gonna continue to trust it. Continue because I never like thought about like I never was freaking out. Like I always knew that I was gonna be good. Like I'm just glad that like, you know, God made my mindset that way. But like even after track, like whatever that looks, I just know I'm gonna be good. And I just believe that. And I believe that that's just, you know, my mindset.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
yeah.
I've had a saying, you know, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not working.
Absolutely.
Like that's the thing. You
Yeah.
got to know, because in principle, if you're doing the work, it's working.
Yeah.
Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not working. And for you to sit up and go, didn't have the times, just worked.
Yeah.
Didn't have the wins, I just worked.
And it wasn't easy. And I think that everyone makes it seem like or wants to hear an easy story.
No.
Everyone wants to hear the story with butterflies and rainbows. Like it's not easy. Like it's not. And if you want to get to a place in life that you know everyone's not living or seeing or attaining, it's hard. Like and I think that of course like on social media like so many people make it just seem like it's so easy. Like and I think that that's why people could resonate with my story because people have seen the vlogs after the races of me hitting hurdles and not doing good and still being transparent and still talking like y'all it didn't happen today but it's coming. It didn't happen but it's coming. And like I mean I have to sometimes and go back and watch like my old self like what was my mindset there like because sometimes I need motivation like at this present moment. And that's what I'm saying, people make it seem like it's easy but I would never sit here and make it seem like I'm not human and I don't have doubts and I don't have confusion I'm never confused. There's times like I literally have a sports psychologist now. Like because I feel like the more greatness you attain, the more that you know, that's a whole nother ball game that like no one talks about. Like I'm like learning this new realm now because for so long I thought about it like before my season started. I was like my whole life I've been in the chase. Like my whole career I've been the underdog. My whole entire career I'm trying to get to right here. I'm trying to get to right here. Now, you know, in the most humble way, I'm one of the standards.
Yeah.
I don't have the world record yet, but I'm one of the standards.
Yeah.
Like well, I mean, I guess I can. Like I'm the only woman to run 12-1 twice. So, I'm one of the standards. So, I think that now my mindset has to change. I'm not the underdog. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not in the chase. I'm the one being chased. So I think it's a different mindset that you have to approach it with. That's why now that I've like started to win, I've won US championships 2 years back to back. I won indoors, won the Olympics, and I now have a whole different level of respect for the Sydneys, for the Noah Louses,
Yeah.
for the Grant Holloways, because it's like for y'all to really win back to back to back to back, and you know people coming at your neck, like I have a whole different perspective now.
Mondo Duplantis,
like
breaking his
Mondo,
own
like
world record every time.
that's what I'm saying. Like the people who have won time and time and time again, not just once, but like can do it every year. Like I'm now learning that because I never came from a winning background like consistently. So now I'm like, whoa, like this is different, you know. So like I said, like for me, I know where I came from, but I know where I want to get. But that's like the humbleness. Like I'm humble enough to understand like I don't know it all, and I'm figuring out this new realm.
Yeah.
And once I figure it out, like you said, like it's gonna be a sight to see. But I respect of course everybody, but like those people who have won consistently, I have a whole different level of understanding now of what it takes to continuously win.
Yeah, people.
Don't look at me.
You know, these two are going to start crying again. They just.
I cried enough at her wedding. I couldn't even get through the speech. I'm like, this is too much for me. Because I was just like thinking about like everything.
Everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
but were you going to say something? Because I don't want to interrupt.
I mean, I said it earlier from the beginning. I was like, there's gonna be some of the times I'm just like this because
Yeah, you did say
y'all
that.
got the chemistry y'all got
Yeah.
from is just so I need to when I get to be quiet, I'll be quiet. So please continue.
Well, no, because I just remember there was one specific time, and you were so sad after the meet in Los Angeles
Yeah,
when
that was hard.
I think it went from like, what was it? You went to Japan or Tokyo?
I
and
went
then
to 2 China meets, and then I think I came back after that, went to LA,
Mhm.
then went to Prefontaine. I ran 12:88. Haven't seen that time since my junior year in college. And then I ran 12:80 at Prefontaine, got last place. I got second to last in LA and then last place at Prefontaine. And then my next meet after that, I like ran like 12:06 and I was like, "Oh, there's a little progression." Like right, exactly. And that was my last meet before USA's and then or Olympic trials. And then the first round, 12:35 PR. It was crazy.
I remember us being on FaceTime after that race when you're in Los Angeles. And I mean, you were crying, you were going through all the things. Cause like one thing as we were talking, I'm just like, I remember how much you wanted it.
Yeah.
I remember how much you wanted to be great. You just wanted to separate yourself. You wanted to be the champion. And it hurt when it wasn't. When it didn't happen.
Definitely.
And I remember after you had your moment and, Robbie really supported you in like walking that down and helping you see it properly. She pulled out her cute little
Oh Lord, what'd I do?
her cute little painting thing that you do at meet.
Yes.
And she just, after she finished crying, she just opened up her book and started painting. And she was like, well, I'm going to do something I enjoy. Like, I'm just going to focus on this painting.
Dang.
And like, in the moment, I'm just like, amen. Thank God you're doing something to keep your mind off of it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, But now that we're talking, I'm just like, your ability to process a hard situation and do what your body needs. You listen to your body, and your body needed something to help you stay up. And you found that on the circuit. Like, you found the things that keep you busy when you're in the hotel rooms for hours doing nothing.
Right.
And I'm just so proud of you.
LA wasn't that long ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was almost 2 years ago.
What is this, your third year as a pro?
This is going on year 3.
It technically is still her second because the third hasn't technically started.
Yeah, it hasn't started.
So much has happened in 2 years.
Yeah, no, it has. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting, of course, to hear like Robbie's perspective because, I mean, that's my partner. So like we have so many conversations, like personal, intimate conversations, like real deal, like crying, tears, this, that, like everything. Like I can't call Chloe every day now. She got a husband. You know what I'm saying? Like
you can always call
I
me.
can't call Chloe every day. But like when we do talk, you understand what's going on in my life. So it's just it'll be interesting to hear because like I said, I think that other people outside of just like my friends, outside of my friends, not even just outside of my friends, they think that like high performers are just like not existent. And it's like when we talk, it's very, very human. We're having very human conversations.
Very human conversations.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. This is the 1%.
Yeah, like of course, like I have 2 sides to me. And like, the side of like me talking about track and competing and this and that, like that's that other side. But like, when we're together, like you're with Masai. Robbie calls the person that's out there on the track and winning the Olympics, that's pretty killer. Like that's the alter ego version of me because it's 2 different people. Like
it is.
I'm not the same person when I compete. Like
no.
When I watch myself running American records and winning the Olympics, I'm like, dang, like I mean, like I know it's me, but I it's like I do, but I don't, but I do, It's very separate. So that's why, like, sometimes it's hard for people to, like, understand my mindset when I'm, like, talking about competition.
Yeah.
Because, like, how I show up when I compete is not the same person of how I view every aspect of life. So, yeah, I mean, all I'm going to say is, like, talking with Coach Green, I've had more conversations of him saying, like, delay doesn't mean denial than, like, baby girl, like, great job because you won. And that's why I said, like, people think that it's easy. It's never easy. Yeah, but delayed does not mean denied. And
Yeah.
you just the will to want to win has to outweigh the feelings of how you feel in that moment. So like I said, it's always gonna sound easier said than done, of course, over a mic, over a podcast. Like, oh, just do it. Like, just work. But it has to be what you love. It has to be what you're committed to. But it was something so powerful that my friend said to me after I won US championships and I ran two 12-2s in one day. And she was just saying, like, God has his hand on you. But I told her, I'd like, yes, God does have his hand on me, but he has his hand on all of us. Like, it's just about you realizing, accepting, and stepping into what
Right.
God has for you. Like,
Right.
I am just where my feet are at, where God has me right now. Like, and I'm just walking in that. But
Right.
that doesn't mean that, like, God doesn't have his hand on you too. Like, we all are called by God in some way. You just have to figure out what is your path, what is your purpose, what do you love to do that you can thrive, work, want to grind, work all these hard hours, and the will to want to
Yeah.
win. Like, we all have something within us. Like,
Yeah.
it's just about, like, you honing in on that.
Your journey and your story is so relatable
Yeah.
to people because, this is a recipe for whatever your individual greatness is.
Yeah. Right.
Individual greatness doesn't happen without work.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you're doing.
Yeah.
What you're pursuing.
In your work, the degree that you work can be the degree that you become great, and also too, just greatness isn't separate from being human.
Not at all.
Like that part there, I think is awesome because sometimes people, again, they think either, people who are great just aren't relatable. They're just something unique about them. And then when you see them, you lose the humanity around the person, and to hear you, talk, to hear both of you talk, even to hear you say it and the data, confirms it. Like we're looking at someone who is just as human as everybody else.
Yeah, and I want people to understand that.
Like that part. I mean, everything you said, literally, it. That's why I'm like, yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It
definitely do.
talks about the weight, the emotional weight, and the load. And but it talks about how you've built you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that part is amazing. And so, like, I just think for listeners and viewers, like there is no, I don't want to use the word excuse in the sense, but like we all can relate to being human, but also now that we all can relate to being human, let's relate to doing the work.
Pursuing greatness.
Just doing the work. Understanding though, like what she said, understanding that, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not working. Work is always working. There is no way work doesn't work.
Right. You're gonna see some sign. A little bit.
It's
a crevice.
It's and there's a thing though, like things have to grow down before they sprout up. Like,
of course.
So like,
and all flowers, like my dad always told me, like all flowers don't bloom in the garden at the same time.
They grow down before they sprout up.
And I'm like, for me personally, like I wouldn't have wanted my process to be any other way. Like some people attain greatness very, very early. And then once they get to college, they kind of like fall off. And then some people attain it in college and then they kind of fall off. And then it's like they kind of work through college. And then they like, all right, now you're pro. So I'm like, for me, I would prefer, if I had it my way, it's like I would have it the humble route. I would do it all over again. And this is the humble route, like the losing route, the route that didn't seem like it was going to be where it's at now. But now, as a professional, where it really matters, where money is really on the line, where contracts is really on the line, where legacy medals is really on the line, I'd rather it happen now.
Well,
that's just for me
I'll
personally.
tell people so they can know your journey supports the actual science. So the research actually shows that those who win a lot early typically don't win late. Those that don't.
Losing teaches you something.
Well, a part of it too is winning does too, but if you win very early is more simple. If you win very early, your brain gets into the habit of going to a simplistic version of winning. But as you get up, it gets more complicated and more complex. And it doesn't have that template. But the ones that hadn't won, they're still learning. So they're still building complex templates.
Yeah.
And so by the time they get later,
now they have the complex understanding.
they have the templates for winning. And
there.
so it absolutely supports what the data is. So I'm telling you, if you haven't won early, you're actually on schedule.
You're on a great path.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing good. The science supports it. And if you're winning early, don't get comfortable, because in fact it becomes very difficult
to
maintain. Gets harder
to maintain that. So kudos to those who've been able to do it.
Yes.
But
kudos to both.
Right. Kudos to both journeys.
Yeah, 100%. So this has been awesome.
And it was just so great having you here. I'm like thinking about how like our worlds have collided. Like
I know.
Over the years. Like, girl, this could have stayed in college and then lived two completely separate lives.
Yeah. But that's what we was literally just talking about. Like once you make it through college with a friend, like if you met someone in college and once you make it after college and you continue to like hang out, make it a point to see each other. You came to Kentucky when I was in LA. I'm like, can I stay with you?
Yes.
You know, like,
yes.
You know, like when you continue to nurture those relationships, like you know the people that's going to be around for life, you know, to the end of time. So thank you guys for having me. This has been great. I love to just yap.
No,
especially
you weren't
about
yapping
track.
Today. You were.
Thank you.
You were truly. I'm like, truthfully, like, girl, you need to walk in that.
And if you're an elite athlete, performer, whatever it is, come check NESTRE out. Come understand what makes you you.
Right.
Like your greatness.
Like it's what NESTRE does, and it's like it gives you insight, data, it gives you validation, language for what you've intuitively felt about your life experience. And that's why we do this podcast. It's because we really do want to share the power of what data can do for you. The more you understand your mind and brain, the more power you have.
Absolutely.
You know, and so being able to share stories on how NESTRE provides that insight on real life humans, that's just the best way to share it. And so we really hope that you took something from this podcast. I mean, if you didn't, then you weren't listening, and that's okay. Just listen again.
Just listen again.
Right. Just run it back.
Run it back for the first time, because the first time didn't count. You know, this is what our podcast is here for. We have plenty of episodes that we work with Sydney, and we did a podcast with Calvin. And so just listen to those episodes and take from it what comes to your mind and heart about your own personal lived experience. This is applicable to you too.
So what do you want to leave with to the audience? Find your what do you want to
I just want to say I feel like I said a lot, but yeah, just continue the will to whatever you want in life. The will to want to win in life has to outweigh how you feel, and that's just as simple as it gets. I don't really have a lot of space for excuses in my life, and I think if you want to attain something in life, the excuses have to come to a minimum, because on the other side of excuses is the rest of whatever you want to accomplish. So yeah, I continue to follow my journey. Thank you, NESTRE, for supporting the data, to me, of course, knowing who I am, but having the scientific data to back everything that I believe about myself up. It's actually really cool, and it's kind of scary. It's like, whoa.
And the last thing, who do you think we should have on the GOAT series?
The next person that I believe, maybe Devin Charlton. I'm calling you out. Devin is the world record holder in the 60-meter hurdle. She trains beside me every single day. So I think it'll be interesting to hear her mindset. I feel like Devin has a very different approach than I do. And she's also a hurdler. So I think it's just cool to hear other people who have attained greatness and attain things that no one has ever done before, just to hear their mindset, because
Absolutely.
my mindset is me. This is just what has worked for me and just who I am based off of what I believe and what the data says. But it's always cool to hear other high performing athletes and what makes them them, because what makes me is different than what makes everyone themselves. So
Alrighty, well, she said it, so we'll be reaching out. But thank you so much for listening to this podcast episode, and we are so excited to see you next time. Thank you.